please welcome Breene Kerr.
Okay, so if I had to summarize it, what I heard was that PPAs are kind of a green, on-shade business, and but very necessary. And I know there's a number of people in the room that have taken advantage of those. Let's see, PV is photons in, electrons out. So my summary is basically show me the money. So I'm here to talk about how to finance your energy project, and in 15 minutes I can basically give you the elevator pitch, so let's get started. You know, outside the bubble that we're in here in this room, this is how people look at these projects. But the truth is that if you engage in one of these, you're going to be in very good company, because this is now mainstream. It pays off financially, and it's the right thing to do. And that's why we started TBI Energy. TBI Energy is a division of TBI Construction. So we're bondable, we're all those things that Swinnerton is. And that allows us to do a project from concept to completion. I'm Breene Kerr, I'm the director of TBI Energy, and I've been involved in this, in doing sustainable projects for over 10 years, so I've learned a lot about where to find the money. So my motto is, if you can think of it, there's someone out there that'll pay for it. And so I want to talk about who those people are. Basically, we're in the most favorable environment that I've seen in a long time, and really since I've been involved, to do projects, particularly efficiency projects. And so what we have to do is just understand what programs are available and take advantage of them while they're available. So we've all heard this statement. If you've gone to any classes, or maybe you're working on your MBA up at the Presidio, reduce before produce. And generally, I totally agree with this. But also, I'd like to add to that is make hay while the sun shines. So these programs come and go. Some people, you know, refer to this as, you know, strike while the iron is hot, or, you know, take advantage of things while you can. Every farmer knows that if you want to make hay, you got to wait for about 4 days of sunshine. So we're in a period of sunshine, and at least through the end of this year. And what happens after that? You know, we're going to have to wait and see what the new Congress does about some of the president's suggestions on the energy side. But this is a great year. Let me just give you an example of what I mean by take advantage of the opportunity or make hay while the sun shines. So one of the customer of ours is San Jose Unified. In fact, there's some folks here today from there. And when I first started talking to them about energy efficiency and sustainable projects, I said, where can I go? Where's the worst place? They said, go to Gunderson High School. So I go over there and I do a quick Energy Star rating of the building. You know, it's like it's an 8, Energy Star 8. And remember, this is a scale that goes from 0 to 100. Okay. So I'm walking around, I'm seeing all this decaying infrastructure and mechanical systems that aren't working right. And then I go up on the roof, and what I find up there are like a 0.5 megawatt solar system, you know, that actually the Chevron Energy put in. And I go, you know, so this sort of turns reduce before produce on its head. But, you know, over time I've come to see the wisdom of Steve Adamo's strategy, which is, you know, back in 2007, 2008, PPAs, you know, could get financing from, you know, lots of different banks. Rebates were high. They went through their 43 campuses and found, you know, all the locations where they could do solar. And by the way, Milpitas School District did the same thing. And now that looks pretty smart. So they're doing the reduce after the produce. So you do it when you can and when the opportunity presents itself. And so, you know, we've all heard about the California CSI program and how commercial projects they're not accepting commercial rebate reservations right now. I think that's just a, you know, bump in the road. But, you know, you need to have your reservation in if you want to do a project right now. So anyway, let's get to the show me the money part. This is, as I've said, this is a great time to be engaged in a project like this. And those of you that have opportunities, I really encourage you to do this before the end of the year. And so people in the, before me have talked about the concept of the cash grant. Okay, so what they're saying is, okay, 30% federal tax credit on renewable projects. Okay, let's see, I got to talk to my accountant. Did I make money this year? Do I need a tax credit? Can I put it off on one of my divisions? Well, the stimulus package made this question very simple. They said, look, if you file this paperwork with Treasury, we'll give you a check for your tax credit. And then at the end of last year, when the president shook hands with the Republicans and they passed the tax bill, they extended that for one more year. So if you've got a renewable project, I strongly encourage you to get some shovels in the ground before the end of the year, because this cash grant makes a big difference, and it encourages the banks to get involved, and it opens up your options. So let's focus on the three things that I talked about in some of the advertising we do. The PG&E has got a great rebate program right now. There's like $1.5 billion in it. PG&E account representatives are actually incentivized based on how much money they give away. I like that, because so their sales quotas are actually giveaway quotas. Now there's a third-party engineering audit that occurs, sort of a peer review of projects, and those guys are trying to take the money back that the PG&E rep just gave you. But at the end of that process, you have an assurance for your client that the energy savings you're talking about are real. You have a rebate amount you can bank on, and you can move forward. And these rebates are typically around 30% of the cost of the project. So that's a pretty good start on paying for something that can often has a less than 5-year payback. So great program. It does require that you apply for it. You can't go do stuff and then get the money later. You've got to think about this ahead of time. So great program. One of the things that's also really exciting is the 0% on-bill financing. Now this is a pilot program. It's in the PG&E service territory. It's in the SoCal Edison territory. Right now, PUC has given them each $20 million, and we expect that the program's successful, that it will have additional funding placed in the program. So if you're a public agency, you can get up to $250,000 for 10 years at 0% for an energy efficiency project. That's what I call free money. I mean, essentially that means that why wait? Let's start saving now, and you can, 0% means that the cost of money is removed from the equation. And so for commercial projects, it's a little bit, not quite as good a deal. It's a 5-year 0%, but still up to $100,000. So this can be the catalyst for getting a project going. Like on a larger project, it's a catalyst. On a smaller client, it might be most of the project. And it's a companion to the rebate application. So you need to have an energy efficiency project to qualify for the 0% financing. But remember, you can characterize replacement of crumbling infrastructure as an energy efficiency project as long as it saves energy. So you can modernize a facility using this technique. Last thing I wanted to point you to today is solar thermal rebates. Okay, so PV, started up at $5 a watt, and finally down now on commercial projects. We're just about done with it, the rebates. On solar thermal, we're at the very beginning of that curve. So the rebates are huge. If you've got a customer that's using a lot of processed hot water, or maybe a big hotel, or anybody that's using a lot of domestic hot water, industrial hot water, other places where we can apply solar thermal, there's incredible dollars available to make those projects happen. And basically, and the other kind of cool thing is that you get the 30% federal tax credit because it's a renewable project. So you can literally have over half of the dollars involved in a project come from somebody else's pocket. Federal government will pay up to 30% in a cash grant, and the state of California, it's not coming out of the state budget, it's coming out of the CSI Trust Fund. They'll pay you what amounts to 12 years energy savings. So whatever your first year energy savings was, you can get a check from the CSI program for up to 12 times that. Great program. Let's see how this stuff works out in practice. I'm going to bring you back to Gunderson High School. Here's a typical energy efficiency project. We just finished over there. You know, it's a $150,000 project. The rebate was $52,000. It pays for itself in 1.3 years. That's the kind of numbers that a CFO really loves. Now, how does that translate into the on-bill financing? So when you do one good project, you end up doing another good one. So we're currently engaged in sort of the engineering phase of a project at the same place, but this time we're using on-bill financing. Let me show you what that does to the numbers. So the payoff on this project is a little bit longer. It's 2.5 years. But what's cool is that the on-bill financing allows you to borrow money for 10 years on a project that has a 2.5-year payback. So you can imagine your bill goes way down, in this case $40,000 a year, but your payments on the loan are only $10,000. So it's a net cash flow benefit for the customer. And so I think everybody in this room that has a building that they're responsible for, or clients that might take advantage of this, let's get this. Let's keep this $20 million in the Bay Area and ask for more from the PUC. So I'm just going to summarize what do these projects typically look like from the time that they're conceived of to when we sort of hand you the keys is about 6 months. And it's a little longer, it requires a little bit more planning, but then just going out and hiring a contractor tomorrow. But it's worth it because you end up with verifiable, peer-reviewed energy savings. You can take advantage of on-bill financing. Usually these projects on the energy efficiency side will pay for themselves in 5 years or less. One thing I want to emphasize is that you're replacing crumbling infrastructure. So there's a lot of crumbling infrastructure in California, and this is one way to modernize those buildings. And the on-bill financing means that you don't have to use your own cash to do it. So let me come back to the make hay while the sun shines. Is this too good to last? Maybe, but let's just go do it. It's kind of like when you wake up at Lake Tahoe or wherever you go for the summer. The lake's smooth. There's no wind. The sun's out. Let's go water skiing now before the wind. So that's what I have to say is take advantage of this opportunity. Don't let it pass you by. I just want to end here. Hopefully we made this slide quickly. I want to end here with a little plug for the Energy Awards, which are coming up in May. They're sponsored, they're hosted by the Silicon Valley Business Journal, and maybe we'll hear more about that. You can enter your project, your company, your firm for an award, and I hope everybody comes. You're all going to get an email from me. It's not spam. It'll be the details of this upcoming awards, and I hope many of you in here will take advantage of it. And I'm going to hopefully nominate the VTA. I just found out Michael Hirsch has a reservation for 2 megawatts of solar. I don't know where Michael is, but okay, good job, Michael. So a lot of you have interesting projects. This building we're going to see later today hopefully will be one of the entries, and so I encourage the rest of you to participate. Thank you very much.
Great. thank you very much. And also want to tell you that TBI is our title sponsor for our Energy Awards. And yes, the nominations are open, and that program is in May. Breene, thank you very much for that.